On the 27th of August, Rockstar Games is releasing a new video about Grand Theft Auto 6. At 3 in the afternoon Eastern Time, you can watch it on Netflix. At 9 in the evening, you can watch it on YouTube for free, like every GTA trailer for the last 20 years. 6 hours. That's the gap. That's the entire product Netflix paid for. Netflix's vice president of nonfiction series called it a first-of-its-kind partnership. And he's not wrong about that. Nobody has ever sold an advertisement to a streaming service before. Now, neither company will say what it cost. What we do know is that for 6 hours on a Thursday afternoon, the marketing material for the most anticipated game ever made will sit behind a subscription, and that Netflix has filed it under action and adventure movies, tagged slick, rousing, high-octane. It's an advert. They've categorized an advert as a film. 6 hours is nothing. That's kind of the funny part, because by 4 o'clock, there will be 100 bootleg copies on YouTube, and Rockstar's lawyers will be playing whack-a-mole with a video Rockstar is giving away for free at 9 o'clock. So this is not a scandal. On its own, it's a rounding error, a marketing curiosity, a thing you forget by September. It is also the third one this year. Grand Theft Auto 6 ships on the 19th of November. It costs $100 if you want the Ultimate Edition. That's not so unusual anymore. Game prices have crept from $60 to $70 to $80. And a premium tier with a few cosmetics has been standard for a decade. Nobody was going to riot over that. What's inside the Ultimate Edition is a different question. Shops. Side missions. In the single-player campaign. Not a multiplayer battle pass. Not a cosmetic bundle. But rather, parts of the actual story mode in a game whose entire cultural reputation is built on the story mode that are being sold separately. Also, there's no disc, but there is a box. Rockstar confirmed the physical edition ships with a download code inside of it, a cardboard sleeve with a piece of paper in it, for a game whose predecessor has sold over 230 million copies, partly because people bought it, lent it, traded it, and then bought it again. No disc means no lending, no trading, no resale. The copy is a license, and Rockstar holds the other end of it. Now, a publisher can charge what they like. Somebody will pay $100. The market decides, and arguing about it is dull. What's harder to wave off, though, is what these have in common. The story mode used to be included. The disc used to exist. The trailer used to be free. And each of these points of contention takes something that was never a product and turns it into one. By the time you get to the trailer, there's nothing left in the building that isn't for sale. Grand Theft Auto has spent 25 years laughing at this. The whole texture of these games is corporate America eating itself. Radio ads for products that shouldn't exist. Billboards for companies whose names are the punchline. Loading screens that sell you something inside of a game about being sold things. That was the job for a quarter of a century, and nobody was better at it. Now, the joke has a new subject. Now, there's a fourth thing. It happened before any of this, and it's got nothing to do with pricing. And in 5 weeks, it goes to court. On the 30th and 31st of October 2025, Rockstar Games fired 34 people. 31 across its UK studios in Edinburgh, Dundee, and Lincoln. 3 more in Canada. According to the Independent Workers' Union of Great Britain, every one of the 31 was a member of that union, and many were on the organizing committee. Earlier that same month, the IWGB says it had reached 10% membership density at Rockstar. 10% is not a symbolic number in British employment law. It's simply the minimum membership a union needs before an application for statutory recognition can even be considered. That union crossed it in October. The firings were at the end of October. Rockstar's position then and now is that this had nothing to do with unions. A spokesperson for Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar's parent company, said the following, quote, Rockstar Games terminated a small number of individuals for gross misconduct, and for no other reason. The misconduct, according to the company, was leaking confidential information in a public forum. The forum was a private Discord server. Invite only, used only by union members to talk about organizing. That is the disagreement in one sentence. Rockstar calls it a public forum where confidential information was shared. The union calls it a private, legally protected trade union channel. A tribunal is going to decide which it was. It has not yet been decided. and nothing in this video should be taken as though it has. But something did get decided in June, and it tells you how the company is playing this. The workers brought several claims: unfair dismissal, trade union victimization, and blacklisting. Blacklisting has a specific meaning in British law. The House of Commons Library defines it as compiling or exchanging information on workers' union membership with a view to discriminating against them in employment. It is a serious allegation, because it implies that somebody made a list. Rockstar asked the tribunal to strike the blacklisting claims before the case reached trial. On the 17th of June, the tribunal refused. The claims stay in. These claims will be heard in full. The trial runs from the 10th of September to the 15th of October. Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out on the 19th of November, which leaves 35 days between the end of one and the start of the other. For roughly 5 weeks this autumn, a British employment tribunal will be hearing evidence about whether the company that made the biggest game in history kept records of who had joined a union, while that company runs the largest marketing campaign in the medium's history. Both of those things are on the same calendar, in the same country, about the same people. Now, Rockstar's side of this is actually stronger than the internet gives it credit for. Companies do fire people for leaking. If confidential material about the most valuable unreleased product on Earth was being discussed anywhere outside the building, a games company would be negligent not to act. And Rockstar has never been a leaky studio. That isn't luck, and the tribunal hasn't ruled yet. The workers might lose. These allegations and a video that treated them as findings would be doing the exact thing it's complaining about. Now, here's the part that survives all of that. Rockstar could have let the backlisting claims go to trial and beaten them. Instead, it applied to have them removed before anyone heard the evidence. That is a legal tactic. It is completely legitimate, and it is also a choice about whether the facts get aired. It failed, so the facts get aired 5 weeks before launch. Meanwhile, the workers who were fired have not gone quiet. In June, they asked Rockstar to recognize the union voluntarily, which would make it the second game studio in Britain to do so. The first was ZAUM, which reached a recognition agreement in October of 2025, the same month as the firings. But none of this will dent the game. GTA 6 is projected to earn over $10 billion. It will be the fastest-selling piece of entertainment ever made, and the tribunal's verdict will be a paragraph on a game site the week it lands. That's not a reason to skip it. That is the reason it's worth saying out loud right now, while there's still a version of this story that isn't a footnote. So, 3 monetization decisions in 1 year, each of which takes something that used to be free or included and attaches a price tag to it. A story mode, sold in pieces, a physical copy that no longer exists, and a trailer with a velvet rope. And underneath of it all, 34 people who tried to form a union, an allegation that somebody wrote down their names, and a court date in September. Rockstar built a 25-year career on a single joke that American capitalism will find a way to sell you anything, including the thing that was supposed to be selling you something else. They were right. They were always right. They just weren't describing anyone else.